Biggest day in Montreal public transit in a long, long time. The Deux-Montagnes REM branch officially open. 14 new stations now available for those from downtown in McGill, heading through town of Mount Royal and through Saint Laurent into the West Island, then getting off island through Laval and into Deux-Montagnes. It's a big day. Last month, we spoke to two people who would be using the new REM line, and today we get their reviews on the day one experience. Nayan Patel is with us, lives in Pierrefonds, and Lori Hurdle is a resident of Deux-Montagnes. Nayan and Lori, welcome back to the show.
Thanks for having us.
Nayan, I'm going to start off with you. Tell me about how it went from Pierrefonds on your commute this morning.
It was absolutely great. I caught it from Pierrefonds this morning. Actually, my wife and kids dropped me off on the way to school and daycare, and honestly, I was just walking around and I felt like I was in Europe, getting into the brand new building and getting on the train. It was just amazing. And sitting there, I felt like I got downtown within moments. I mean, it was a 20-minute ride, but usually getting on the bus, we're about halfway through the traffic in about 20 minutes time. So it was very smooth, very good. Enjoyed it quite a bit.
You said it made you feel like it was Europe. What was it that was European?
Honestly, just the doors to the train. I mean, just not being outdoors and trying to jump on, hoping that you're not going to fall through the crack. I mean, those doors just remind me of being in Europe, and just the interior of the building itself. It just you don't feel like you're in the West Island or even Montreal anymore for some reason. I felt very different. Every station looked really cool. The entire line looked brand new. I know a lot of people are talking about, these stations have always been there, they're not new, but going through it, everything seemed brand new. It was really, really nice.
And let me ask you, what's the difference in your commute? Pre-REM to now, how does this change your day-to-day?
I'd save a lot of time. This morning took me about, I caught the 7:52, I think, from Roxborough, and I got downtown at 8:15, whereas in the past, I'd probably get downtown by 9:05, 9:10. So
wow.
About an hour and a half to just about a half hour, yeah.
Okay, well, that seriously sounds like an improvement. Let's go to Lori here. Lori, you're a resident of Deux-Montagnes, so tell me about the experience on day one.
Well, I think also, too, for me, I find that there's not as many people on Monday, so I feel like today was kind of a nice day where it wasn't full at all compared to the weekend where obviously it was jam-packed with a ton of people. Obviously, I get on the beginning, so I pretty much always guaranteed to get a seat. But I got the 7:56 train. I was down at McGill for 8:30, so definitely a shorter ride for me compared to the commuter bus that I've been taking for the last 4 years, an hour and a half to 2 hours. But I agree for some points that it was smooth, and I do feel that it's you have that feeling of being safe because you can't get out onto the tracks, which I think was an issue before. Mm-hmm. And I do like the fact that I'm waiting indoors as opposed to outside in the elements, which is what we had to do with the old train.
That's right. That is a big difference. Right now, at least you have stations where you're indoors. You're not on a platform freezing your butt off over the winter.
Exactly.
Now, of course, everyone in Deux-Montagnes went through that nightmare of the buses, right? The temporary buses. But Lori, do you have the perspective of comparing the REM to what you had before when we had the commuter train? Well, what's your take? What we had 5 years ago versus what we have today.
I think I have mixed feelings. I took the old train from 2011 to 2020, so almost 10 years, where for me it was luxury. I got on at the beginning, whether it be Deux-Montagnes or Central Station, and I had a choice of seats. And what I really liked was there's like a rack. You could put your coat in your bag. Now you don't have that on the new train. It's basically a metro. Uh-huh. And so less space for that kind of thing. Like on Saturday, there was maybe 9 seats in a row, all shoulder to shoulder. Anybody with broad shoulders, good luck. And I felt it very tight. And then I'm thinking, okay, winter hasn't even come yet. What about people with their winter jackets, school bags, backpacks, whatever? I felt it personally, I thought it was going to be kind of claustrophobic. So I think like I said, it's nice. I get downtown faster. There's that McGill station. But at the same time, to me, it is it's a metro.
But with it, and you're very correct. It's very metro-like, but with that comes frequency improvements, right? And I heard someone say we're going basically from like 24 trips a day on that line to 6 or more, like 150.
Yeah, during rush hour.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, it is more frequent, but like I said, I think maybe call us in a month to see how. I think today really was just like an easy day. Because before in the old train, I could be quite honest. Like I said, I was in luxury before. I was very spoiled with my route to go downtown. But I just felt that it was. It was very different. I'm kind of used to that old way, let's say.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And there are other people too that on the way home I was talking to, and especially I think those that have taken that old train for a long period of time. Yeah, it's nice that it's going to be more frequent, but there is that disadvantage. And also just something like the poles. There's a woman standing in front of me who was like 4'5" and couldn't reach the things on the top to hold on to. And again, less seating. So I think it's just going to maybe take some time to.
Yeah, and Lori, that's a great aspect I hadn't really thought of, right? Because it really is a different type of train, right? Like you said, it's much more metro-like. Nayan, let me ask you if it goes beyond the daily commute, and are you thinking about, going to shows at the Bell Center, doing things downtown? Does this change, how you'll get around for not necessarily work, but for other things?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I was talking to my wife just the other day about going with the kids downtown and how much easier it is. Instead of having to think about the traffic, looking for parking, we could just hop on and hop off the train. That's just something we're looking forward to. I mean, Bell Center, stuff like that, of course, being able to have that, ability to go there, even if we want to go to Bistron, that's something we never, ever thought about doing because just driving from the West Island down there is just, it's a trek, right?
Yeah.
And even more so, I mean, just today as I was walking from where my wife dropped me off to the train, it's like I saw 2-3 trains pass by, and I was like, this is amazing, because I remember before it's every 15 minutes, and I know you guys were talking about pros and cons of before and after, and I mean I grew up with this train as well. I mean, I was in Concordia, I lived in my parents' house, the train went through my backyard, and it was great having it. Weekends, I remember we never even thought about it much because it was like 5 trains a day. But just having the accessibility and being able to think of it as a metro and being able to go almost anywhere is incredible. So, and the new stations are beautiful. We got up at Deux-Montagnes and it's great. So looking forward to take the kids, and going around Montreal a lot more than we did because of, car driving and parking and traffic.
I know you got dropped off this morning, but what is the parking situation at your station? Do you think you'll be able to drive there and leave your car there for the day eventually, or is the parking up to snuff, Nayan?
Well, I'll be walking for the most part. Just I was able to get a quick lift with the kids, but the parking lot actually was pretty empty this morning at Sunnybrook. But Roxborough was pretty packed. I know that Sunnybrook they converted half of the lot, I believe, to paid parking, which I find very odd. But I know before the old train, it used to get packed by 8 a.m. and people were just always scrambling for parking. So I'm curious to see how it's going to be. It was pretty, and I thought it was going to be very packed this morning. I was able to get a seat from Roxborough.
Interesting.
So I think the frequency helped, but at the same time, I think people are a little cautious since it's day one. So we'll see how it goes over the next few days.
Lori, how's the parking experience at Deux-Montagnes? Do you know how if
I have never personally experienced because I am actually 5 minutes from the train. So again, I've been very, very spoiled with the whole thing. But I know that it's been a major concern with a lot of people. With the old train, there was, at first, when I first moved up in 2011, it was all free parking, and then suddenly it started to change. And then there was paid parking, obviously, closer to the station. And then because they had so many people, there was a Guzzo cinema, maybe 2 or 3 blocks from the house, or from the train station, sorry. And people were allowed to park there, but now that Guzzo has been demolished. So I'm not quite sure if their people are able to still park there, and if not, where can they now park? Because they're really promoting taking the bus to the train and not taking your car.
Deux-Montagnes,
how it's affecting.
I'm just seeing it right now. So Deux-Montagnes has 967 parking spaces. 666 are free. 301 are paid. That's the situation at Deux-Montagnes. I don't know if that's enough, but that is the situation there.
Because the other thing, too, is their hockey arena, and they're also using the spots for the hockey arena. So I'm assuming at some point, You know, like the Bell Center, if you're parking at the Bell Center, there's a hockey game, you've got to be out by a certain time.
Lori,
I don't know if it's the same.
Lori, Nayan, listen, I have to leave it there. Thanks so much with your day one reviews. Really appreciate you joining on our show.
Thanks for having us. Thank you.
There you go. Lori Hurdle's a resident of Deux-Montagnes, and Nayan Patel is a resident of Pierrefonds.
I'm Dylan Playfair.
And I'm Tyler Smith.
We're putting loneliness in the penalty box by talking to some of our favorite athletes about the importance of friendship.
This is Bromance.
Bromance is brought to you by Charm Diamond Centers, proudly Canadian-owned and operated. Charm has been part of your love stories and bromances for over 50 years. And you can find Bromance on the iHeartRadio network or wherever you get your podcasts.